What's up guys, Fortuna here. Today we're going to be doing an in the bag. This is going to be an arsenal of shots that you should have in your bag, not a video of what I actually throw. This video is geared towards everybody, especially people who are new to the game, are a little bit more experienced, even advanced. These shots, of course, I'm talking about are the hyzer, the anheiser, and the notoriously difficult straight shot. Now these shots you absolutely need and should be able to perform on command. To be able to throw these shots on the course on command is essential to being really consistent on the course and furthering your score under par. So that way you can shoot the best round you possibly can. So here in this video, I'm out in the field. I have my bag set about 250, 275 feet away as reference. So when I'm throwing these shots, you have frame of reference to how far my shots are actually going. And now I set it fairly low because this is the ideal distance that I feel all players should be able to hit and have a lot of control over. Now if you're not able to actually hit this distance, then I would recommend working on these shots and then develop the distance with time. You want to be able to throw these shots and then work on the distance. Work on being able to control the hyzer, an anheiser, or a straight shot up to 250 to 300 feet. Right in that range is a pretty good sweet spot, and that's gonna make you more consistent on the course, especially on those courses that are the little deuce or die courses. And a big mistake that beginners do is they go to a store and they go and try to buy the fastest disc out there because they think it's going to give them more distance because it's faster. That being like they go get a nuke or a boss, destroyer, world giant, anything like that. And the thing is that actually hurts your game. You go out there, you try to manipulate the disc, and you try to throw this disc on an anheiser as hard as you can so it can come out and flex back. That shot is for the experienced player who has developed their shot selection, the hyzer, the anheiser, and the straight shot, and to be able to throw those on command. So if you're new to the game or you don't know how to do these shots, I highly recommend going and getting a putter or a mid-range that feels good in the hand. Now when you get this, try to find a disc that is fairly neutral. These discs can range from the really popular Buzz and the Rock, look into the Mace, a Claymore, a Compass, or any of those discs. You don't want to go and get something that's really overstable like a Gator or a Zone or a Justice or anything like that, because those are utility discs. Those discs aren't meant to go straight. The other ones are meant to be workable, and you should be able to throw all the shots with those discs. So here in this video, I'm going to show you all three types of shots. Alright, so here we are in the field. The bag, as you can see, is right in the middle of the screen. I got about 6 discs that I'm going to be throwing on a hyzer. They're all mid-ranges and they're all pretty well seasoned. The most overstable one I have is going to be the Compass, and that's not even really that overstable of a disc. And this is going to be probably the easiest shot for anybody to learn. It's the basic... It's the way the disc is going to fall naturally, given enough time to actually slow down. Even if you throw a disc on an anheiser, if there's enough air underneath it, it's eventually going to start slowing down and hyzering out. Now, being able to throw this shot is pretty essential, and this is going to be the easiest one for many people to throw, because naturally, throwing a backhand, being it lefty or righty, it depends on which way you throw the hyzer. If you're lefty, it's actually going to be falling the opposite way because you're throwing the opposite shot. Here, I am actually throwing backhand righty shots because I am a right-handed player. And I'm gonna show you a couple different ways to actually throw the disc. We're gonna do both. Here is the backhand, and then I actually do sidearm, and I actually attempt some lefty hyzer shots, as I will show you after I throw, I believe, one more shot after this one here. But as you can see, I'm not trying to get to the bag necessarily, but all the shots are about as far out as the bag is. I'm not trying to really pump these, I'm just trying to show you guys what a hyzer looks like, and that you can throw these shots with all sorts of mid-ranges. You just gotta learn how to throw the shots. Alright, so here I'm actually doing left-handed shots. I'm kind of screwing around with this, trying to get a feel for it, but I have a couple good shots throwing the hyzer, and then I have a couple not so good ones, and you can actually see why they're bad shots, because they're not the hyzer that I'm looking for. So these first few shots that you can see that I come through low to high, and the disc stays on the line all the way through and hyzers out. And I'm landing just short of the bag. So I'm maybe getting like 220 feet out of it. I get a couple that are a little further. But again, as you can see, I get it low to high and just kind of hyzers out really nicely. And on this shot here, you can see I start low, I come high, and then I just kind of swing my arm flat and it turns over a little bit. And that's what I was struggling with on a lot of these here. I did the same thing with that shot. You can see it started hyzer, but it kind of finished flat, because that's how my arm followed through. And usually how you follow through with your arm, the disc is going to react the same way. And if you play this video back, you can actually watch all those shots. My arm comes low to high and then kind of flattens out, so the disc actually starts hyzer and then comes up flat and doesn't really hyzer at all. It just kind of stays the direction that it's going, and that's not what I was looking to do. Alright, so for the dominant player, usually a lot of people are going to be backhand, some do sidearm, but to have both shots in the bag can be really, really advantageous on the course. So again, being able to throw all the shots sidearm or backhand is going to help you out on the course a lot. And here are just some examples. Again, throwing the same mid-ranges on the hyzer shots. And being able to throw mid-ranges sidearm is really helpful, because these discs will show you your flaws in your sidearm a lot. So a lot of times people throw a little too hard and they're not smooth enough, so they a lot of times will come out really wobbly or will turn and burn really fast. So you need to have a little more finesse on these style shots. But these are pretty simple hyzers here. And here's one of the better shots. You can see the entire thing in slow motion. You can see how I'm starting out low, falling through high, and it just hyzers out nicely. Alright, so now we're moving on to the next shot. This is going to be fairly difficult, but these are the anheisers. And these can be pretty hard to play, because if you don't give it enough angle, then it's going to hyzer out on you. And if you give it too much, it's going to burn into the ground pretty quickly, and it's going to roll away from you. So you kind of got to find that happy medium, and then also have a good judge on how your discs actually react. So actually going out to the field and throwing that mid-range or the putter that you found that feels pretty good, learning how it's going to fly on different angles, is really going to help you learn and get the feel for how you need to throw your discs on those certain shots. So again, we're just throwing about 250 feet here, using that bag as reference. So I'm just going to slow-mo the next clip so it's a little easier to see the angle of the disc and where it's coming out and where it ends up finishing. And as you can see here, I'm going to replay the clip, but you just got to start from high to low. And I can't stress enough going in the field and practicing these shots and learning your angles. Alright, so up next, of course, is going to be throwing anheisers with the sidearm. This is another shot that is pretty essential. I tend to use these shots a lot for when I'm stuck behind something and I need to kind of try to get up and down with as little leg movement as possible. You can generate more power throwing a sidearm from a standstill than a backhand typically, just because it's similar to throwing a baseball, and really if you just kind of get one leg into it, you can generate a lot of power and there is less moving parts. So as you can see here, I apologize about the lighting, it did get a little darker. I tried saturating the video a little bit just so you can actually see the shots a little more. My consistency with this to actually throw an anheiser is pretty good. To get the actual right height consistently seems a little off. So as you can see, there's a couple lower ones, a couple higher ones, but overall I was able to throw more than a handful of good anheisers. And again, as you noticed in the first couple clips, especially in the lefty backhand shots, when I was throwing messed up shots, the disc was following that line. So as you can see here, when I actually throw the shots, the way my arm is following through, the disc is actually following that plane of the line. So of course, last we have the most difficult shot, and that is going to be the notoriously hard straight shot. And to throw these shots took a little time to get the ones that I wanted, to actually get the ones that you can actually see as well, because there's a lot that I ended up just blocking by throwing the shot and then just standing there, because it's a straight shot, so if I just stand in one spot, then I'm just going to block it. And with these shots, personally, I tend to throw hyzer flips with mid-ranges that are a little understable, because that's a little easier for me to stand the disc up just a little bit and then have it ride out straight. For other people, it might be a little different to be able to actually throw a fairly stable disc and throw it flat and then have it stay flat throughout the entire flight. For myself, that's very, very difficult. I find throwing a little bit of a hyzer and having it stand up is much easier to achieve that straight shot. But as you can see there, I was actually able to throw flat, come through flat, and it actually finishes flat. And again, here's another clip. You can actually see the entire flight, follow through flat, and here it is in slow motion. Just so you can see, there's a straight reach back, come through straight on that flat angle, and the disc stays straight for the majority of the way. It does tail off a little bit at the end though. And of course, moving on to throwing straight shots with the sidearm. Just like in the backhand, I throw hyzer flips with these as well. It seems to be much easier for me to actually throw that. I enjoy throwing the discs that are a little more understable, and I can get a little more consistency personally doing that here. And just like in the other clips, my sidearm's a little less consistent, but I was able to get a lot of straight shots, and as you can see, I do put them on a little hyzer every time, but they do stand up and finish straight. They do tail off a little bit at the end, but that's the most difficult part of throwing those straight shots, is to actually have them stay straight the entire way. Alright, so that's all that I have for this video. Hopefully this is something that was pretty informative, and hopefully this is something that you can understand fairly easily. I know I didn't do like a step-by-step breakdown of each shot, but I feel like I was able to show and convey those shots pretty easily in the video. And I think there's enough clips in there to show you what you should be doing in your shot. And if there's something that I need to actually have the breakdown of footwork and weight transfer and all this kind of stuff to be able to throw these shots, then I'll do that in the near future. But for right now, just focus on being able to throw these shots. You don't need to be throwing these shots 250 feet right out of the gate. If your max distance is 200 feet or less, then work on throwing those shots at that distance. Don't worry about trying to gain distance right away and throwing the disc as hard as you can. Remember, smooth is far, so if you can do all these shots really smoothly and not have a sporadic run-up or a sporadic throw at all, you're going to be in more control of your shot. And when you have that smooth control over your body, you're going to be able to learn and teach your body to accelerate and develop more distance with these shots. So don't get discouraged or anything like that. Just focus on being able to throw these 3 types of shots, and you'll do really, really well in the course, and you will constantly improve. So again, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully, again, that this is something really informative. I feel like this is something that needs to be said, and lots of people, I feel, overlook these kinds of things. As I said in the beginning of the video, don't go and try to buy the fastest disc that's out there on the market. Go and find the neutral mid-range or putter, and find the one that feels right in the hand. And if you're not sure of the right kind of disc, again, there's a couple that I mentioned in the beginning. When you do go to your local league or tournament or anything like that, maybe ask some of the pros what they like throwing as their mid-range, or what they would refer to you as a good mid-range to use as that neutral disc. So thank you guys so much again for watching. Please go ahead and hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, and also go check out discbaron.com. They do always have some really cool stuff on there. And please use my PDGA code to get 5% off on anything that you purchase through them. It's going to ship fast and safe and everything for you. Thank you again for watching. We'll see you guys next time.